Hello everybody, this is Vinayak and welcome back to Voxfor Lifetime, your go-to source for Linux tutorials, remote access solutions, and server management tips brought to you by Voxfor.com, your trusted provider for lifetime VPS, dedicated servers, managed WordPress hosting, monthly VPS plans, and lifetime web hosting based on cPanel. In today's video, we will show you how to enable RDP access on Ubuntu 24 using XRDP so you can remotely control your Linux desktop from any Windows or Linux machine. XRDP is an open source implementation of the Remote Desktop Protocol, also called RDP, that allows you to remotely access your Ubuntu desktop from a Windows or Linux system. Unlike VNC, XRDP is fully compatible with Microsoft's built-in Remote Desktop Connection, also called the RDC tool. Before moving further, let me tell you about RDP. RDP is a protocol that provides connections to a computer in graphical interface. Microsoft originally built RDP, but it is very widely used in enterprise and personal environments to access files or softwares on another machine remotely. Some advantages of using XRDP on Ubuntu are cross-platform access because with RDP on our Ubuntu system, we can connect from any device including Windows PC, Mac OS and Linux to the host machine or our VPS server. Secondly, we will be having a graphical interface because RDP is not a command line tool, so like SSH. It provides us with a complete graphical environment to operate on, therefore making remote management very user friendly or intuitive. We can also increase our productivity because RDP access allows IT professionals to troubleshoot and manage remote systems easily. Remote workers can also use the RDP to access on-premise resources. Enabling RDP on our Ubuntu based system, we will go ahead and update the repositories along with upgradation of packages. To do this, I will use the command sudo apt update and sudo apt upgrade -y. Copy it, go to terminal, paste it and press enter. This command will update all of the repositories present in our Linux system as well as upgrade the currently existing packages with the latest version out there. Since our upgrade process has completed successfully, we will now go ahead and enable RDP by several tools such as XRDP, VNC, etc. Default tool for using remote connection is VNC, also called Virtual Network Computing. It is included as a built-in feature in Ubuntu, but RDP, also called Remote Desktop Protocol, is excluded by default. However, if we want for simple use cases, VNC works well. However, RDP performs better and integrates well with the Windows clients. If we want to check for the pre-installed tools in our Ubuntu distribution, go ahead and use the command grep remote. This command will list all of the packages or softwares installed in our Ubuntu based operating system for remote connection. I will press enter. We can see OpenSSH client along with OpenSSH server, rsync and IP utils are present, but no RDP sessions are present or no RDP software is installed in the Ubuntu server right now. We will go ahead and install RDP by typing sudo apt update for updating our repositories. But since we have done the update, we will not be doing it again and type sudo apt install xrdp space -y. I will copy it, go to terminal, paste it and press enter. This command will install XRDP software, which is a tool used for remote desktop access on our Linux servers or Ubuntu machines. It can take some time depending on the configuration of your servers. If you are using Voxfor servers, it will not take much longer because Voxfor servers are fast and capable of handling such tasks very easily. Also, once this is done, we have to go ahead and enable the firewalls as well because without firewalls, we cannot access the remote connections present on our Ubuntu system. So once the installation has been completed, we will go ahead and check the status for our DP sessions if they are working properly or not. To do this, we will go ahead and use the command status xrdp. This command will help us in checking the status of XRDP software, which will provide remote desktop connection to our other devices such as Windows-based machines, macOS or Linux. I will copy it, go to the terminal. Now I will paste it and press enter. Since XRDP is active and in running state, we will go ahead and install some alternate RDP servers if XRDP is not present or there are some issues with it. There are several RDP servers such as X2Go and others which are used in Linux for providing remote desktop access. However, make sure to use only one of these because if you install multiple RDP systems or softwares, they will create a conflict among them and will result in either a complete loss of remote desktop protocol or some misconfigurations on your network side. Moving further in our guide, we will look how to configure XRDP in Ubuntu 24. We will go ahead and edit the configuration file by typing sudo nano /etc /xrdp /xrdp.ini. This is a configuration file for our XRDP software. I will paste it and press enter. Now there are some necessary ports which need configuration. First configuration to be done is regarding the port. We will go ahead and change the port from any another to 3389, which is a default port for RDP sessions. Since it is already listed over here, we don't need to modify it. Next, let's have a look at the encryption settings. We will go ahead and search for security layer line in our RDP configuration. Go to terminal and search for security. Since we can see the security layer is negotiate, we will continue and update it as RD. Scroll up. Now, instead of negotiate, we will type RD and proceed further. Set the crypt level to high. Go back to the terminal and crypt level is already high. So we don't need to modify it. We will now carry on and exit our configuration file by typing Ctrl X, Y and enter. This will save our configuration file as well. Once these changes are done, we will restart XRDP by typing the command sudo systemctl restart XRDP. Copy it, go to terminal, paste it and press enter. To check the status of XRDP, go ahead and use the command sudo systemctl status XRDP. Since XRDP is open now and it is listening on every IP address present in the network, we will go ahead and adjust the session settings. We need to modify them because if there are multiple users connecting to the session or our RDP server, it can cause conflicts and none of the users will be able to access the RDP interface. To avoid session conflicts, we will go back to our configurations of XRDP present in /etc /xrdp /startwm.sh file. I will open it by copying this, going to terminal, paste it. We will type nano as well in the and press enter. Now in our startwm file, we will confirm if it launches our desired desktop environment. For example, we can use the command dbus session underscore bus address. Verify it. Since it is not present over here, we will go ahead and launch it by copying this command, going to terminal, paste it and press enter. This command will help us in managing multiple sessions on a same server. Now move forward and start the configuration by typing exec start x, copy, go to terminal, paste it and press enter. Instead of the port 3389, we can specify any another port as well, such as 3390. To do this, go back to our XRDP configuration file, open it in the terminal, and instead of 3389 over here, we will choose 3390 or any another port. Make a note that we will need to allow the firewall access to specific ports for enabling RDP access from the internet users if we have only whitelisted a specific set of IPs. To update them, go ahead and use the command sudo ufw allow space our port number. I will copy it, go to the terminal, exit. Now I will type sudo ufw allow space our port number. In my example, I will allow 3389 and press enter. The UFW firewall will now allow port 3389 on our server to be listened and accessed from anywhere in the world. Now, if you want to set up a desktop environment for seeing the Ubuntu Linux as a graphical interface or the Ubuntu desktop interface, we will go ahead and install the desktop environments. There are various desktop environments such as X. To install it, go ahead and use the command sudo apt install xfce. I will copy it, go to terminal, paste it and press enter. The command we just executed will install xfce desktop environment on our Ubuntu server. It can take some time depending on the operating system or hardware you are having. Once it is done, go ahead and install Genome, which is default for Ubuntu. But since we have already installed XFCE, we don't need to do it. Since we have installed P or XFCE in our system, now we will go ahead and connect to our desktop environment by using an application called Remote Desktop. If you are on Mac OS, you will have Windows app or Remote Desktop. I will go to the search bar and type Windows app. Over here, I will choose the operating system. You can click on the plus icon and select the add work or school account if you are unsure. Since I am sure that it is a PC, I will click on add PC. Here I will type the hostname or IP address. My hostname is vinayak.voxfor.com. Now click on add. This is the RDP session which was added. I will double click on it. We can see the RDP connection pop-up has came in front of us. This is a security warning. If you are using Windows, you will have the security warning like this. But if you are on macOS, you will get a security warning like this one. I will click on Don't Ask Again and select Connect. Now we have to enter our credentials such as username and password. I can type username as root and password, which is the command line password as well. I will type it and press continue to connect. This will be helpful to us for logging in. Now we can see that a problem has a error. We have to allow firewall access for our XRDP and do port forwarding. We will first allow the RDP port, which is 3389 by default. To do this, go ahead and copy the command sudo ufw allow 3389, go to terminal, press enter. Since we have already added port 33, we will need to enable our firewall by typing sudo ufw enable. I'll copy it, go to terminal, paste it and press enter. I will press Y to confirm the changes. To check if our rules are now in place, go ahead and use the command sudo ufw status. I will copy it, go to terminal, paste it and press enter. Port 3389 is allowed for access from anywhere, whether it is IPv4 or IPv6. We can now access the admin interface and set up port forwarding for port 3389 using the VNC console or networking section of our VPS server. Moving further, let's look at some troubleshooting steps for common errors and their fixes. If you see a black screen, make sure the desktop environment is set correctly in our file /etc/xrdp /start wm.sh. I will copy this file name, go to the terminal, type nano space path and press enter. Verify these lines from the command snippet present in our blog. Also, as a best practice, you should always use strong passwords for users and limit the number of failed login attempts. This can be achieved by several applications such as CSF, which is called Config Security Firewall, etc. That's it for today's guide on enabling RDP access on Ubuntu 24 using XRDP. We covered installation, firewall setup, Windows connection, and security tips. If you found this video helpful, subscribe and share it with others needing remote desktop access. For more tutorials, check out our blog linked in the description. And remember, whether you need lifetime VPS, dedicated servers, managed WordPress hosting, monthly VPS plans, or lifetime web hosting based on cPanel, Voxfor has you covered. Thanks for watching and see you in the next video.